Before you scroll, listen up. America has built some incredible cars, but these three? They were so shockingly bad, so dangerously flawed, that even today, mechanics whisper about them like urban legends. Most people have never even heard these stories, but you're about to. Before you start watching, subscribe to the channel and like it.
Number 3. 1955 Ford Thunderbird. This is the kind of car you immediately want to buy just by looking at the photos. But after a week of owning it, you start to wonder, maybe I was too quick to believe in love at first sight. Ford positioned the Thunderbird as a personal luxury car, a personal, stylish, almost sports car. And yes, it looked like one. The long hood, the tail fins, the chrome, a classic that reveals a sophisticated look. But here's what many don't know. Under all that bodywork lurked small but persistent problems. The 4.8-liter V8 engine was indeed powerful, but in the early versions it often overheated, especially in hot weather. You could say the Thunderbird loved the heat too much, sometimes even too much. The Ford-O-Matic automatic transmission sometimes didn't shift as smoothly as advertised. There were moments when it seemed like the mood machine was choosing its own gears. The electrics had their own life. The gauges would alternate between reading and thinking. Nothing critical, but there were no surprises. The suspension, while comfortable, reminded you on turns that the Thunderbird wasn't a sports car, but a beautiful cruiser for straight roads. At the same time, the car was genuinely pleasant and stylish. It just demanded attention, like a star, which requires a little more care than an ordinary car. The 1955 Thunderbird became a legend, but not because of its reliability, because of its design and the atmosphere it created around its owner.
Number 2. The 1941 Chevrolet Special Deluxe. It looked like a typical beauty of its era. Long fenders, smooth lines, neat chrome. A true gentleman on wheels. But, like many gentlemen, problems began when it started moving. Under the hood was a 3.5-liter inline-six engine. A reliable design for its time, but this model overheated far too often. You could say the engine liked to rest even more than its owner. The transmission was a 3-speed, and in principle, simple, but sometimes second gear would decide not to engage. Apparently, it had its own opinion on the matter. Oil leaks? Yes, we encountered them. And not without reason. Back then, it was considered a special feature. But today, any mechanic would say, yeah, right, a classic Chevy of those days. The suspension was soft and comfortable, but on rough roads, it began to rattle, as if the car was saying, maybe we should get back on the pavement, huh? And yet, despite these issues, the Special Deluxe was very popular for its stylish exterior, spacious interior, and overall feeling of American comfort. Today, this model is valued not for its perfect reliability, but for its atmosphere and design, which perfectly captures the atmosphere of the early 1940s.
Number 1. 1957 Dodge Royal Lancer. You know what always amazed me about American cars of the 1950s? They say engineers were given an endless budget and told, make something that shines brighter than a Christmas tree. And so the 1957 Dodge Royal Lancer was born. This car isn't just a car. It's a clear demonstration of how the U.S. tried to transport people into the future in the 1950s, at least visually. Imagine a two-tone paint job, so much chrome you could go blind in the sun, and classic tail fins that look like takeoff wings. If the Royal Lancer could talk, it would say, stand back, I'm about to take off. But the most interesting thing isn't just a pretty picture. Under the hood was a super red Ram V8, which was a true beast of a car back then. It accelerated to 60 faster than the neighbors could even comprehend the sparkling world that was flashing fast. The interior, stylish, spacious, and so soft that the seats felt like grandma's sofa, only without the carpets and TV antennas. Yes, of course, like all cars of the 50s, it had its quirks. Corrosion? Oh, right. Electrical system? Sometimes they had a life of their own. But despite all this, the Royal Lancer wasn't just the car that drove, it performed. It was built to impress, and it delivered 100%. Today, such cars are rare artifacts. Seeing a real Dodge Royal Lancer is like meeting a celebrity who looks even better than in old photos. So yes, the 1957 Dodge Royal Lancer is a true king of style, one that hits the road not to drive, but to put on a show.